Hello, my name is Ben Brearley. I'm the founder of Thoughtful Leader and here to bring you another short video on leadership and some tools and things that you can focus on to improve the way your team works. This one is called Will and Skill, and it is another of my favorite 2x2 matrices, as you can see there in the corner. Basically the one axis, the vertical axis, is the will, and the horizontal axis is the skill. So will refers to the motivation of your team members. So if they're high motivation, they'll be at the top of the scale. If they're low motivation, they'll be at the bottom corner. Skill refers to skills or experience of your team member. So high skill might mean someone who's been working in the field for 10, 20 years and they're really skilled at their craft. Low skill might mean that someone very new to the workforce, they haven't done the job before, whatever it might be. So they'll have low skills and experience. I like to use it to determine how much oversight I might need of my team. One of the key aspects of motivation in a team is autonomy. That means how much leeway or freedom you give your team to decide how to do their work. The will and skill matrix is a very important tool to help you to do that. So let's look at how you might use it. So you have will on the left axis and skill on the bottom axis. Let's look at the quadrants of the will and skill matrix now. So firstly, I'll start with the low will and low skill quadrant. Now that is the bottom left. So that means that someone's not very motivated necessarily and not very skilled. Or experienced. So they don't have the experience or the skills and they're not really that motivated for the job either. Now this is the bottom quadrant and it's probably the one where you need the most oversight of the work. If you have a team member like this, then you'll need to maintain oversight over their workload so that you can tell they're getting the job done. You'll also need to coach and mentor them because they don't necessarily have the skills or experience or probably the confidence to do the work well. And that could be a reason behind their lack of motivation as well. So they're in the bottom quadrant there. So if you've got low will and low skill, you really need to maintain a high degree of oversight. In the opposite corner, the top right, you've got high will and high skill. So you've got very motivated team members that are very experienced or skilled in what they're doing. Now this is an area where you want to let them have a lot of autonomy. You want them to have the freedom to do the work without you looking over their shoulder all the time and telling them what to do, because that is a good way to ruin motivation in a team. So high will and high skill team members, you still touch base with them and check in, but you should really let them have a bit more freedom to do the job the way they want to do it, because they've earned it, they have high skill and they're motivated to do the job, and therefore there's less chance of things going wrong. Now let's look at the other two quadrants. If we've got high skill and low will, that means we've got highly skilled people but they're not very motivated. Now that means you probably want to focus on, okay, why aren't they motivated? But it means you really need to provide a moderate level of oversight so that you can make sure that the tasks are getting done. You probably want to, in this case, you probably want to focus on progress, monitoring progress against the work, because they've got the skills to do the job, so the quality of the work is not likely to be a problem. It's more likely to be, are they actually fulfilling their obligation? Are they actually completing the tasks, because they're not that motivated? So in the opposite quadrant again, you've got high will but low skill. So this might be someone who's very new to the workforce. They don't have the skills or experience in the role yet, but they are really keen and they really love working and they're really trying hard. Now these people are fantastic because you can mentor and coach them and train them to increase their skills, but their motivation is already quite high. So what you might do in this case is, once again, you need to provide a moderate level of oversight, but you also might make sure that they have access to an experienced buddy or mentor to help them learn the key skills and teach them how things work. Motivation is not likely to be a problem, as we saw, because their will level is quite high, but the skill level means that the quality of the work, or they could make mistakes. So you've got to be careful about that aspect, which is where you might have someone reviewing the quality of the work. You know they'll put in the effort because they have high motivation levels, but you are maybe concerned about the quality level. So you have a peer review perhaps, or you review it yourself, make sure the quality is right. So those are the four quadrants in the will and skill matrix, and I like to use them to assess basically where I should put my attention into my team members. You know, where there's some risk there. If there's low motivation or high skill, or low skill, whatever the situation is, you can use the matrix to try to tailor your effort and oversight of your team so that you provide people with the right level of autonomy and oversight for yourself so that you're comfortable that the work's going to get done and it's going to get done to the right level of quality and at the right time. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think about the will and skill. Is it a useful tool for you or not? And subscribe to this channel, of course, so you can get videos like this every week when they're released. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.